All right, we got one from George AA. Let's get it going.
And I came here mad, ready to fight, but when I drove through the city, it looked clean, guys. I gotta tell you. It looked clean. A lot better than the last time I was here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think Dave Chappelle's liberal audience in DC was expecting him to say that. Chappelle is one of my favorite comedians right now. The guy is just unbelievably funny and building up jokes. It's funny because when I was younger, I just didn't see why people liked him. I preferred Kevin Hart's exaggerated humor and like Adam Sandler in his movies. But for whatever reason, the older I get, the more I like Dave Chappelle. He came out with a new special, and he started by addressing the elephant in the room. That in Washington, D.C. and across the country, Trump has deployed the National Guard. And the liberals in that audience had no idea where he was going with it.
And then when this nigga deployed the National Guard in my hometown, he took the police department from the mayor. Oh, D.C., we don't like that. But then my governor in Ohio sent our National Guard to police my hometown. And I called these niggas and said, I'm pulling up.
This is the mistake the audience is making. They're cheering for the comedian before he lands his joke.
Yeah.
If at the beginning of his statement it sounds like he's on your side, just wait. Don't get too excited. But liberals don't have the IQ to figure that out.
Because these niggas is trying to take the chocolate out of Chocolate City. I said, I gotta go home while it's still a city I remember. And then I went on Instagram and saw all the protests in D.C. It was a bunch of white people like, not on our streets. I said, oh no, it's too late. These whites are entrenched. Not on our goddamn streets, you don't.
See, I told you. This is in Washington, D.C., so a majority of that crowd would be exactly the kind of person he's talking about. But isn't that so right? When those kinds of protests happen, it's usually the white liberals, the usual suspects.
Yep.
This nigga Trump was talking like he goes out to dinner. And I gotta tell you the truth. This is not the only city this is happening in. It's happening in California. It's happening in Oregon. It's happening in Illinois. And it's happening in Memphis. And niggas in Memphis, they might need it. You gotta be reasonable. I don't know if you've been to Memphis recently, but them niggas already stole 2 tanks from the National Guard, so you already know. And I came here mad, ready to fight, but when I drove through the city, it looked clean, guys. I gotta tell you. It looked clean. A lot better than the last time I was here.
That's because Trump literally deployed the National Guard to clean up the city and is also enforcing the law for the first time in forever. We gotta hear that again.
A lot better than the last time I was here.
By the way, this isn't the first time Dave Chappelle has been spot on about Donald Trump. If you guys recall, this is that famous SNL monologue where he described the moment he realized Donald Trump was a superstar.
That first debate, I'd never seen anything like it. I've never seen a white male billionaire screaming at the top of his lungs, "This whole system is rigged," he said. And across the stage was a white woman, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, sitting over there looking at him like, "No, it's not." I said, "Now, wait a minute, bro. It's what he said." And the moderator said, "Well, Mr. Trump, if in fact the system is rigged, as you suggest, what would be your evidence?" You remember what he said, bro? He said, "I know the system is rigged because I use it." I said, "God damn." And then he pulled out an Illuminati membership card and chopped a line of cocaine. No one ever heard someone say something that true. And then Hillary Clinton tried to punch him in the taxes. She said, "This man doesn't pay his taxes."
You know, I've heard that line so many times, but it's funnier.
Yep.
Punch him in the taxes. Oh, man. Dave, how do you come up with this stuff?
He shot right back. "That makes me smart." And then he said, "If you want me to pay my taxes, then change the tax code. But I know you won't, because your friends and your donors members enjoy the same tax breaks that I do. And with that,
A
my
star was
friends,
born.
a star was born.
Yep.
No one had ever seen anything like that. No one had ever seen somebody come from inside of that house, outside, and tell all the commoners, we are doing everything that you think we are doing inside of that house.
What's embedded inside every joke is the truth.
Yep.
Dave Chappelle knows how to deliver it. You know, a lot of people on the right are saying Dave Chappelle bashed Charlie Kirk. I watched the whole special, of course. Yeah, he made it pretty clear that he doesn't view Charlie Kirk like a Charlie Kirk fan would. But there was a moment of
That's you.
undeniable benevolence during the show when he mentioned Charlie Kirk and that people admired him. The setup for this statement was him talking about how he got to meet Nipsey Hussle, this rapper who's also like a guy with grand ideas, think Kanye West, with less National Socialism. Nipsey got gunned down by what Dave Chappelle said is a effing nobody. And then he said, this is why I feel for Charlie Kirk's fans, because I know what it's like to see someone you look up to and admired gunned down by a effing nobody. It's so hard to accept that. There was another moment where he was talking about Charlie Kirk and how Congress was pushing the Charlie Kirk Remembrance Day. And the audience was booing like, how could Congress do that? And he kind of silenced his audience and said, remember him however you want to. But I do know that most of those Congress people voted for that because they're afraid of political violence. I didn't really appreciate any of the other jokes he made about Charlie Kirk, but I don't think they crossed the line. I don't think they were insensitive. I think he was making jabs at people saying Charlie Kirk is this generation's MLK, which by the way would be disrespectful to Charlie Kirk. MLK was a Marxist, which, you know, a product of his time, but a Marxist nonetheless. With comedians, you just gotta give them the license to make their jokes. Ultimately, it's a personal decision whether you choose to laugh and see the bigger picture. I see Dave Chappelle as someone who has consistently pushed the left on their hypocrisy. That's why he's a global superstar, and why, even though I know he's a liberal, I can sit down and watch him and just laugh. Because I like comedy, man. And just in case you didn't see it, I can confirm, ladies and gentlemen, this is a spoiler, that he went after the LGTV community. That was the best. That community has tried so hard to cancel him, but he's uncancelable. Like your phone service. You call him, I want to cancel.
Wait.
Do you really want to cancel?
Oh.
Are you really, really super duper sure you want to cancel? Yes. But are you really super duper duper sure? That community has been going after Dave Chappelle, so he spent another 30 minutes of that show going after them. Think about this. Dave Chappelle's jokes on the LGTV community have done more to correct course in culture than anything else. Only Matt Walsh's What is a Woman came close to that level of impact. Chappelle has won that argument. The Transformers are in retreat from the culture war.
With laughter.
You don't hear about them anymore. And of course, huge credit to Trump. He came into office and said the United States recognizes two genders. There's only two. That was great. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching. God bless and goodbye.
Ooh, go follow. Good one.
Hey,